I picked up the Cricut Joy 2. Since I have a Cricut account, I love to test out new machines so you have all the latest info before you buy. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing and showing you what's included, testing out a few projects with the latest updates, and at the end, I want to give you my honest review. I'll be giving my own pros and cons to the machine and who I think would be a good fit for purchasing this machine. I made this video really in depth, worked hard on all the research so you have a good idea of what this little machine can do. Also on camera, I think it looks bigger. This is so tiny. I did purchase this machine with my own money and I'm so excited, so let's get into it. First, let's get the Cricut Joy 2 out of the box. I purchased just the machine, but there are different bundle options as well. You can buy this on Cricut's website, Michael's, Target, Walmart, lots of different places. I'll put a link for it down in my description box. Each one's going to come with different items, but I'll show you what comes in the machine only. Here's some practice sheets. These include permanent smart vinyl, transfer tape, smart iron-on, and cardstock. Here is a setup info, a Cricut Joy 2 user guide, and some safety and warranty information. It has a 9-inch ruler, which I probably won't use. We get a 4.5 by 6.5 light grip mat, a dual-sided marker, a scoring tool, a mini weeder, which I would never use either. Do any of you use this? I feel like it'd be so uncomfortable. There's a power adapter and 3 different plugs depending on what region you live in. Let's get the machine out of the box. This is only 2.7 pounds. I really love how light it is. These come in 3 different colors: blue, coral, and jade green. This has a new look to it. I honestly like it, and I really like the two-tone color. I've been watching people's reactions online, and a lot of people don't like the look of it, but I really do. Let me know what you think. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't have a cover, so I just don't see how it wouldn't get dusty. This also includes a fine point blade that's already installed. The width of the machine is 9.11 inches. The depth is 5.43 inches. The height on Cricut's website says 2.74 inches, but it seems like it's not fully measuring that top piece. The Cricut Joy 2 can use a light grip and a standard grip mat. These are 4.5 by 6.5 inches or 4.5 by 12 inches. This makes the max material cut 4.25 by 11.25 inches. So one thing with the Cricut Joy and Joy 2, you are very limited with your width size. You can cut longer with Cricut's Smart material. With this, you can cut 4.5 inches for the width and up to 4 feet for the length. The last mat you can use with this machine is the card mat. This is mine for my Cricut Joy, but it works with the Joy 2 as well. The Cricut Joy 2 can cut 75 plus materials, including vinyl, iron-on or HTV, cardstock, printables, and more. You can see the full list on their website. Now let's talk about what tools work with this machine. This is the premium fine point blade. This is used to cut a variety of popular materials. They did change the blade design. You cannot replace the blade now. I'll show on the screen how you used to be able to change the blade and the reasoning for Cricut doing this. I have a few thoughts on this. First of all, I don't think it's too big of a deal because you can swap out the original Cricut Joy blade and use it on the Joy 2. I think this will be harder to clean the blade. I noticed after I cut cardstock, there are some pieces stuck. I usually like to take the blade out to clean it, so I don't like that. An exciting update is you can now score with this machine. The scoring tool creates little line dashes on materials like paper, cardstock, and this makes it easy to fold for cards, envelopes, boxes. I wish they made these a little more different. I was mixing them up. The top is a little different, but I kept forgetting which one was which. But when you look at the bottom, you can tell. You can also use the foil transfer tool with this. It adds really pretty metallic details to projects. Lastly, you can use pens and markers with this machine. I really love this dual-sided marker. One side is 1 millimeter and the other is 0.4. Any pen labeled Cricut Joy will work with the Cricut Joy 2. The last really exciting update with the Cricut Joy 2 is you can now use print and cut. You can see the little sensor on the machine. I'll show you how to use this making stickers in this video. I want to do a quick comparison of all the Joy machines. This is the original Joy. It came out in 2020. Here's the Cricut Joy Xtra. The Cricut Joy and Joy 2 are very similar in size. The main difference is the look of the machines, and the Cricut Joy 2 can now use print and cut. The Cricut Joy 2 and the Xtra can both do print and cut. The main difference with these is the Cricut Xtra is a little heavier and bigger. The Xtra can cut 8.5 by 12 inches and a little less when using a mat. Let's plug this in and get the Cricut machine set up. The power adapter looks different than the other machines. One thing that I love about it is the cord is very long. This machine is so portable and you can easily carry and move it anywhere. So I love that you can also find places to plug it in easier too. Let's turn it on and I'll go to my computer. I already have Cricut Design Space installed, but here is where you can do that. When my machine was plugged in, I went over to Cricut Design Space and it was automatically connected, and that is through Bluetooth. However, when I went to cut my first project, it told me I needed to do a machine setup. I'll walk you through what I did for this quick. I selected my machine, then went through the prompts. It wanted me to do a quick test cut. I slide the smart material underneath the two guides. The machine will automatically grab it once it presses against the rollers. Then it'll cut my design. There's no buttons on the machine, so you click unload on the computer. Now let's make some projects. I'm going to cut this down and add vinyl to a keychain. I just measured the circle and it was 1.875. So I already have it here, but I'll show you how I did that. I grabbed a circle, I changed it to a guide, then I just made it those dimensions. I grabbed another circle and the size of the hole in the acrylic is 0.187. So I just made that size. I have forgotten to do this before. Then I made the design the size of the circle and it covered that hole. For the keychain, I'm using the monogram. This is for Cricut Access members only, but you can find monogram fonts as well. And I just typed in my initials. I'm doing the circle one since that's fun for this keychain. Then what I did was just size it inside the circle. Okay, I'm going to delete this one. I was just showing you for an example. I'll click on the make button. I am using without a mat since I'm using the smart material Cricut provided. For my cut setting, I chose Smart Vinyl Matless Permanent Vinyl. I load the vinyl into the Cricut machine the same way as before. Then it'll start cutting. You can use a mat with any vinyl as well for this. A keychain like this is a perfect project idea for the Cricut Joy 2. Also mugs, labels, notebooks. Small iron-on project ideas would be tote bags, onesies, little zipper pouches. I'm using the Cricut transfer tape for this project. I was actually very impressed. I haven't used Cricut transfer tape in a long time. A little hack to prevent bubbles, use the felt edge of a squeegee and that makes a huge difference. Here's how the keychain turned out. Normally I would choose brighter colors, but I wanted to use up some of the vinyl that came with the Joy 2. Next, let's make an insert card. I'll click on New Project, then I'll go down to Card. I am going to do an insert card, so I'll select that and hit Start Designing. Now I'm just going to search for something. Cricut has tons of templates, and I do like to use theirs for the insert card. It just makes it so easy. I'll select this one. The layers panel is hidden, so I am going to bring that in. I also want to use my marker feature, so I am going to change Hello Sunshine to Draw. I'll go up here and select Pen. The problem with the font that's already selected is it makes it bubble letters, so I am going to change it to a writing font. To filter that, you just click here, then you'll select Writing. I'm going to use this one, and I'm going to make the H and the S capitalized. I might just move it a little bit so it's lined up better. That is so cute. I am doing the 0.4 millimeter, the thinner side of the marker. The last thing that you don't want to forget is everything needs to be attached. So I am going to go to my layers panel. I'll hit Shift on my keyboard and select every single layer. Then I'll come down here and hit Attach. Now I can click Make. It gives me only one option, the Insert Card cardstock, and it's telling me to start with my pen. Then you can see coming up it says Fine Point Blade. I add my pen to the Cricut machine, then I place my white card inside the Cricut card mat. It'll draw first, then I'll replace it with my blade. It'll start cutting. I did forget to mention the card size is 4.25 inches by 5.5 inches. You can just purchase these insert card packs. I have so many that all the colors are kind of mixed together. Just make sure the card you're using matches the Cricut Design Space template. When it's done, you just remove the card from the mat and add that yellow insert. I'm not the best at card making, so I really like making these. It's just so beginner friendly. Here's how it turned out. I just love how bright and colorful it is. Now let's use Print and Cut to make stickers. You're going to want to calibrate your machine the first time you use it. Select your machine and hit Calibrate. Select the printer and it'll print out the sheet. It tells you to cut the material in half and place it on the mat. I load the mat and it'll cut out a square. I read out that inner square. Then it cuts out that outer square. This is a lot easier than other machine print and cuts because those you have to pick the best lines and takes a little bit longer. I'm back in Cricut Design Space and I'll show you how to put these stickers together. I'm going to click on Stickers and Labels. You can go to New Project and select that also. If you saw my latest sticker video, I showed that there's templates now in Design Space, but for some reason the Cricut Joy 2 doesn't have it. I don't know if it's because it's new or what, but I'll hit Start Designing and you can see it looks just like your regular Cricut Design Space. However, whenever you pull anything into it, it's going to automatically make it a sticker, which is really nice. I'm going to grab my images. I'm just using Cricut Design Space to make it easy, and I'm just going to type in strawberry. I'll hit Advanced Search. I actually typed strawberry sticker. These actually have a border around it already. I'm going to click on it. A really cool thing you can do is scroll to the bottom, and there's different sets with the images. If you click on it, it's going to make it all look uniform. I'm going to add these into here. I'll just hit View. I'm going to make these a lot smaller. I'll just select over everything and bring them down. Okay, one thing with these is since they already had a border around them, like I said, it's going to make everything a sticker in here. So added another border. So that's why it's such a big border. But to fix this, it's very easy. You hit Edit, go to Sticker, and just turn that border off. If it didn't have a border, you would want to keep it on, but you can also adjust the thickness over here if you want to. I feel like Cricut Design Space makes their borders a little too big, so I usually adjust it. I might make them just a little bit bigger. Okay, here's my stickers. The width is around 2 inches for these. They all kind of vary a little bit. And I might do a more in-depth sticker tutorial. You can upload your own images also, but I want to make it a little simple for this one. I hit the make button, and this is where it's going to look a little more unique. It's actually going to print this and this one on one page, but it'll want you to cut it in half. I'll hit send to printer. Here's what it looks like. I really like how they do this. It just makes sense that you're going to want to print it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet, but then you just cut it in half and you do each one separately. I'll turn the bleed off and turn on my system dialog. Then I'll switch my quality to best and hit print. You can use a home inkjet printer for this. For my cut setting, I decided on printable vinyl white green liner printing. Here's how these look printed. It also has a little 1 and a 2 by the registration lines, so you know which one it's going to cut first. I cut this in half, then load the first one in the machine using my 12-inch mat. The Cricut will read the registration lines, then cut it out. I found this to be just really easy. Then I do the same thing for the next one. I am so happy with this new upgrade, and these just turned out so adorable. On to the last project. I'll be making a card using the new scoring tool. I'll select on card. I'm just going to do a folded card. I'm going to search for a template on here. I think I'll do this one. This is going to draw, but I think I want to do the strawberry, that thicker marker, and the rest of it thinner. I'm going to attach the 2 strawberries together. Then I'll come up here and I am going to switch this to marker and black. I think I'll also make the design a little bit bigger. And the folded line here, for some reason, it pulls in as a basic cut. I made this whole project without realizing it, so then I had to do it again. But I want this to score so that we can test out that new feature. The last thing I need to do is attach everything together. That way it looks exactly like this on the Make It screen. Then I'll hit Make. I'm going to select medium cardstock. It shows me which side of the pen to load first. I love watching the Cricut machines draw. I feel like it's such an underrated tool, and a lot of times I forget to use it and then I don't understand why. I'll switch it to the other side. I like having the different thickness in the writing. It makes it a little more interesting. Then I add the scoring tool. It'll press those score lines. Then I'll switch it to my fine point blade and it'll cut out that card. It's very hard to see, but there are little dashes for the score line. Score lines weren't very deep into the paper, which probably makes sense because the Joy 2 doesn't have the force like the Cricut Maker. It did help me guide where to fold it, but also was almost not worth using it. I like using a squeegee or scraper to press that down a little better. Honestly, this little card was one of my favorites. It is very cute. You can personalize it to whoever you're giving it to. I am going to attempt to find a way for the Cricut to write on the inside. If I figure that out, I'll make a video. All right, so overall, I really love this machine. I think it's great if you're just getting started with Cricut. It's super lightweight and compact, so I think it would be very easy to just grab and use anywhere, which honestly, I think it'd be easier to get it out of the box and use it more. I did see some people online say how light it is and worried that it's going to be cheap and break easily. I honestly don't have that opinion. I think that's the whole point of the machine, and I think that's a very good pro to it. I might be in the minority here, but I actually love the look of it. It looks really sleek. My husband even mentioned how much he likes how it looks, and I really like the two colors on it. The biggest con for me is definitely the width. You are limited on projects because of this, which is similar to the original Cricut Joy. If you're wanting to make things like shirts, it's not going to be a good option, and I wouldn't recommend it. I don't love the new blade that you can't remove it, but at least you can use the other Cricut Joy blades. I also worry about the machine being open. I feel like it would easily get dust in it. I guess time will tell. And if you have pets, wouldn't pet hair get in it? Now, if you're looking to purchase the machine and you already have a Cricut Joy Xtra, I would not buy this machine. It's nice that it is lighter and a little bit more portable, but I don't think it would be worth it if you already have the Xtra. If you already have the Cricut Joy, really the only upgrade is the print thin cut. So if that is something you're looking for, then it might be worth purchasing. If you're wanting to purchase a Cricut Joy and if you're looking for a small compact Cricut machine, I would not recommend the original Cricut Joy. I think the Cricut Joy 2 or the Cricut Extra would be a really great option. It just depends on what type of projects you're wanting to make. That is it for today's video. I really hope you found it helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I would also love it if you subscribed if you're new to my channel. I have so many fun Cricut projects coming up.